Okay. We are back. Yeah, I know they've always done that, even back from the very earliest, like even NES games that have a save function, they always have that warning. I don't know if I know for the NES ones they always told you to hold the reset button when you turn the game off. Too, I don't know if it has to. I don't know if there's just a maybe just a small possibility of it corrupting your save file if you don't turn it off just right. Yeah, so it's probably more likely a holdover from those days. This is it, Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Oh, are you still, What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. Guess the shock hasn't worn off my run with the stun gun yesterday. What do you got a battery inside you, Maya? Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. How you holding up, Edgeworth? Edgeworth's looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. But I know he will. Well, oh. What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. So we're 4 save files. Each one would have been labeled 1, 2, 3, and buffer. If you save to slot 1, it writes the buffer save and relabels it slot 1. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I know classically they always give you at least 3 save files. Usually. Not always. Oh, pal! Hey, Dick. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. Oh, you got him. Good. Just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Yeah, I'm wondering how much of this senile old man bit is an act. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm gonna prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We've reached the final day in our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he's currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. Yeah, start talking, buddy. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I had nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. That's all you got to say for yourself? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm gonna prove it. Doesn't run away or nothing. Buy some food for Polly, see? Food. Well, Polly's a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Oh, well, I kinda got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. You got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. Oh, really? You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. I need one of those motive things, right? I don't got one. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past... something. Oops. That is true, Coolio. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying Are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Now this is interesting. I'd like to know myself. So who is he? I play dumb Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi from the DL6 incident? Figures the judge would have heard of it. It was the famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Smarter than the average hobo. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? He's got a point. This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, what we have is a very strong suspicion. Oops, wait, no. Go away. Accident clicked something open. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you gonna prove it? How can you prove he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Ah, okay. Don't go in the... Sometimes the simpler ideas are the best. Then we'll compare it to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Uh-oh. He hasn't faltered at all. Huh? So very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep. What? Oh, ain't that convenient? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past? Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we won't be able to prove his identity. No. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. No, I can't let it end like this. What about the DNA evidence? There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief. Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. You're not serious. He's seriously considering it. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I'd like to... I can't... I'd like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. And with such dramatic music, too. This is... Order! Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Did you even ask? This is a farce! I object! Well, hey, to be fair, you suggested it. Okay? You got no one to blame but yourself. Wait a second. You were the one who You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. Thank you, Phoenix. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Yeah, it kind of is, to be quite honest. Still wanna go through with your little game? Yeah, I'm doing it. Let the parrot take the stand. Oh, God. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. Must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Okay. Oh, here we go. ... Nice. Time to kick gum and chew ass. Yeah, okay, yeah, he kind of botched the line and paid for it a little bit. Hello, hello. Wow, great testimony. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you gonna do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right. What do I say? Oh yeah, have we forgotten something? As I recall, 2 days ago... Holly, have we forgotten something? What? Don't forget the L6, what? If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello? Hello? What? What a time to get stage fright. God damn it. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello. Hello. Ah! It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright. You could not have retrained the... Did he go so far as to retrain the frickin' parrot? Wait, don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he retrain her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? What? Oh my god. Wait. Testify. Right, what do I say? Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, what's your name? Polly! What? Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with the owner's identity? Did we see something in... Yes! Yanni Yogi. Memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, his fiancée, Polly Jenkins, committed suicide. Yes, it does. Fascinating. You claim the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof is that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Take that! The DL6 case file. Objection. That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? Show us, or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to the parrot's name? Oh. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, you see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. There you go. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see, I guess that's possible. Objection. A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. You're lying out your ass, aren't you? Well, Phoenix Wright, does that make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone, it's a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well. Witness, you may continue. Okay, what's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Maybe that number has some significance. The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228. 1228. 1228. That was... 1228, December 28th. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming this number has something to do with the caretaker? Yes, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Huh, ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity?
Take that!
The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Oh! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates.
Objection!
What now? This is intangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. Oh, thanks for telling us. I'll be sure to clean out your bank account later. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that's a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Yeah, what now, Pops? Witness, tell us your name.
Objection!
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. Oh. Okay. We took the mask off, I think. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff at this very court. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi. So it was you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. Wow. Fessed right up to it now. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? Oh boy, here it comes. What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. But I have a feeling it's far from over yet. Von Karma, where's Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? Oh. There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you're cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I'd like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Yes? Alright! That is all. This court is adjourned. Okay. What? Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth. Your Honor. I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I am not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick! Edgeworth's trying to confess. He's gonna say he's guilty. He's gonna tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's gonna tell them he killed his own dad. Oh, what do I do? Shit. The judgment's already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday, too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. Ah, shit. He's got us there, I suppose. That would be Larry, yeah. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare, that's what I told myself. But now I know, it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer. The criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Oh, shit. Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime? A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today? I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. Shit. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. Is this what Von Karma was going for all along? During this time, I'll consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. I'm sorry, right? I just wasted all your effort. I mean... Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick? What are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in the court record. It really is? In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight's just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Damn. Now then, I'd like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He's confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was gonna happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day, I'd gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought the memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Blah. The same claim Mr. Yogi had made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. Let's see what we can get. Earthquake struck, tracks in the elevator. Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue.
Hold it!
What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then, just then, something heavy fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up? What happened next? I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. The gun fired once? Yes. I think, after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I'll ever forget that scream for as long as I live. There it is. One part of the testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I better find out, and quick. It has to do with the scream, doesn't it? Wait. The murder weapon was fired twice. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. What page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Look at the victim data in this file. He sure does like flicking paper with his fingers, indeed. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing, when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of these shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Shit, do we? Should we just bluff and say yes? Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. No, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Oh yeah, because look at the photo. There's a bullet hole in the elevator door.
Take that!
This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see the victim laying there as Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Right. Right here, the very obvious bullet hole.
Take that!
As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet, there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course.
Objection!
Yeah? We got to object. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. What about the case summary page? Elevator, Aaron. I have no clues found on the scene. Okay. The case summary. That's on page 1. Look what's written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. You think so, huh? Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? Looks like I was wrong. Nick! If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just... when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person. Someone else who fired the killing shot. But now... I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick... Well, it seems we finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I'd like to ask one more thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Oh, Edge. Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying. But my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? I should have so many objections, but I don't know if we have any proof to substantiate it. Every lead I thought I had has been squashed. This is really the end. Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I closed my eyes. What was it that I've been doing all this time? Wasn't my whole life leading up to today? But now that I'm here, I know I failed. Mia, I'm sorry. No. Not yet. Up. There's our girl. Maya? What? Object! Your only weapon. Are you okay? What's happening to me? I have to think. Wait, don't think. Act. Your Honor! I object! Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh, no. It must exist. The second bullet. Huh? What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. Seems Wayne is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor! The second bullet. It existed. What? But we just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet? No. I do know what happened. The murderer didn't need to. Why would the murderer have spent time to look for a stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer, what does that mean? I know. You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have no idea what I'm doing. The murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance, what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer. There we go. There it is. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance, I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really... What if that's really what happened? Phoenix, you go. Even if it was just by accident. Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot? And they left with the second bullet still inside them? Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean... the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then, the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you're truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I have ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of incident. He's right, I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. Must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. He's the one who was shot. Wasn't he? What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... It could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh, man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You look dazed. No, Your Honor. Well? You have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Could you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Yeah, let's... Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? Oh, don't freeze up on us now, Phoenix. Come on. What? Von Karma. Von Karma? Oh, he's still smiling. You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why don't you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the accident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick. Let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Yes, but... I have the perfect witness for you, Von Karma. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. But where? I think we know where. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Yes. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... I got a metal detector. Von Karma's perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is the bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. Oh, now he's sweating. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know. But we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma. You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen. And so I remained silent. Is he admitting it? Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claimed the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. Is he gonna try to back out of it like this? But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It's Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. Oh, buddy, you, I think you underestimated Maya a little bit there. That's because you took it out of the records from yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. The bullet that Maya took from you, taken from Gregory Edgeworth's heart, still bears clear ballistic markings.
Take that!
That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? Oh, do we need another tutorial on this? You may recall the term. Came from the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove that bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? Oh, God. Oh, he's going ape shit, isn't he? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. The same one he mentioned. I can't breathe. Quiet. My air. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. That was it. It's that scream I heard in the elevator. 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? You would dare defy me. So it was you. Your father are my curse! Your father shaded me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you'll have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none that I'd ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then. It was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who'd shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Shit. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it! Very well. It appears we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. That is all. The court is adjourned. Oh, damn, we did it. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! Gotta say I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, right? You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Just got you there. Oh! Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would! I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal! Tonight, let's party! Dinner's on me! Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoa. I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Oh, what do you want? Lotta. Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You don't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? It's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Oh, Larry? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Oh god, here we go with this shit again. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Fiancée. She's gonna live in Paris. Paris, Nick! She's leaving me behind! Oh god, Larry. Should've seen that one coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are! Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy! Here, a little gift for me in celebration. Celebration. That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you came along tonight too! My treat, pal! Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's a suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I hope not. I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Did Larry took it? Did he take it all along? Larry! What a weird moment. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38. No. No, Larry, it was you? What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Did he know? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money laying there, and the rest is history. I was never good at history. Oh god, Larry. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Yes, you're right. I know. Really right, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure was an unexpected turn of events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where's that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you've always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death! The death sentence for both of you! Man, if only I'd known, I'd become a prosecutor! Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I'd known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, y'all, line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go. After that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out in the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. He was? For what? How so? I thought he was... December 29th, 5:02. This is the part where they went from being enemies to being friendly rivals. Pretty much, I would say. Oh, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. You hungover, Phoenix? It's only 5 o'clock. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? Letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seen you? It made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. No, you weren't. I mean, that piece of evidence right at the end, that was all you, Maya. So I decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Oh no, did she leave us? Goodbye, Nick. Oh no, Maya! Aw, damn it. Goodbye. What time is it? The first trains from the mountains have already left. To the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. be good, okay?
Hold it!
No, there. Thank you, Phoenix. Wait. What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister's... Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end, when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Yeah, it was this.
Take that!
A bullet. Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. Okay, there's the old Maya. I don't know about that. Up. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Indeed she is. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters.
Objection!
Okay, that is kind of, sort of the end of the first Phoenix Wright game, although it's kind of a, this would be the end if this were the original Japanese, GBA version, but there is a fifth case that was tacked on to... A fifth case that was tacked on at the end of, the first game, starting with the DS version. I think we're going to get into that next. I haven't seen this idiot in a while. Oh, you taught me nothing, bitch. Oh yeah, how's the Gatewater doing now? Has it become the big tourist trap you expected it to be? His old bag runner mouth. Yeah, exactly. Joaquin Phoenix. And Wolverine. Aww. Nice. Soon got Mia's spirit there. Oh. Okay, there we go. New episode's been added. Okay. Once more, a quick break, and I'll be back, and we'll start on episode 5. So I'll see you in a few.